what in those early days, and certainly maybe as you matured a little bit more through your teenage years, what really drew you to the sector? What for you was the exciting bit that thought, hey, maybe there's a career in this for me?
I think probably the most exciting thing was seeing the opportunities that research had on brands. Because even though I didn't realize what I was listening to at 12 years old, there is so much potential from hearing from your customer and then doing good research. And for me, that is what drove me to absolutely love my job and want to get into it is the the change and the amount that we could deliver to a brand to make that better for their customers. And I think I always saw that I could never actually tell you what my mum did because she always was doing so many different things. And for me, I didn't want to wake up and go to work every single day and do the same thing. I didn't want to type the same thing on the computer. And I think that's what drove me into loving research from the get-go was you were every single day you were placed with something new and you were having to uncover something new. But at the end of the day, you're always doing it to better someone else.
Fantastic. Yeah, a big part around the discovery and also those results in real life, right? Seeing how those brands get
Yeah.
beyond that. And so, Lily, I think similarly to me, you took a path directly into market research rather than getting any further education at that point in time. Talk to me about those decisions that you were going through, and also, was there any push or pull from particularly your mother? Did she want you to come into market research, or was she thinking, "Hey, go and get a degree in science, go be a scientist," or something along those lines?
It's a really interesting and actually fun question because I think a lot of people were almost surprised that I didn't actually take the normal gate of going from school to university. When you do have a mother that owns her own business, you would think that, and obviously she completed university. A lot of people thought that I would almost have, that push that this is the pathway that I wouldn't say normal people do, but generally you go from school to university and you get your degree and then you go into a career. But for me, I was really eager to get straight into, full-time work, and I didn't necessarily see university being the perfect fit for me, but I knew that I wanted to do something. I wanted to broaden my learnings. I did want to complete something, and my biggest cheerleader was my mum, and she was the one who actually said, "There's so many different pathways. You don't even have to end up in research. You don't have to do different pathways to end up in research. You can do different pathways to get to a different career." If you don't think that university is the right fit for you, it's not. And she was really the one that went, let's let's see where you go. So what do you want to do? And asked me point blank, what would you like to do? And I said, well, I really want to understand businesses. I have this drive to understand how you created a business, how Joe next door created a business. What are the learnings behind that? What drives that? And we found an online course for business development. And I was very, as I said, eager to go straight into full-time work, and I knew that research was what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sold. So I went in and I worked full-time, and on top of my full-time work, I full-time studied online. And yeah, I completed my, business development course, and I was like, "I'm in love with research. Cool, I've learnt business, I've learnt, what goes behind a business, how that works, but I think I'm set here." So then she said, "Okay, cool. Do you want to expand your research and marketing knowledge?" Because, I was actually thinking, and she was thinking that I might go more into the creative marketing lens and go out of Sprout. So then I did another online course around, digital marketing, and I got my certificate in that. And then I absolutely loved the creative side of things, but we could see, and I could see that there was a way to bring this creative side into research. And I didn't want to leave the research lens because I loved coming to work to find out new things every single day. And then another opportunity arose where actually mum went and studied at Harvard because that was one of her goals. And I was like, wow, I've been following, mini MBAs. I'd love to get my MBA. Don't think I could do that. And then she presented, I think you should go and get your mini MBA from the Mark Ritson course. And she goes, I would like Sprout to, fund that for you. So she just kept presenting me with opportunities and showing different pathways and doors that open. So I completed my 6-week intensive of a mini MBA and finished with an mini MBA certificate, which is just insane. And that just shows that there isn't a one size fits all, and you can always get into your career through different pathways. And like you said, that's how you did it. And then look how successful you've been.
And I think the fascinating thing there, right, is you're so right. There are these traditional routes that are perceived to be the common way, or the way, should I say? But actually, throughout the first 6 years of your career, you sounds like you've been studying alongside working
Yeah.
most all of the way. So you've been tailoring that knowledge build and that education to exactly what you want to achieve.